What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 181 of Hobby Hotline. This, of course, is Hobby Hotline Overtime, our Tuesday night show. And, of course, my name is Drew, or the DH. And joining me tonight on our awesome panel, we've got the man himself, Mr. John Newman from Sports Card Nation. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? I was telling Victor, before he came in the room, like, I'm trying to remember the last time I was on the show. It's probably not as long as I'm making it out to be, but it seems that way. Happy to be on with both of you guys.
Yeah, well, one thing I know, it's been a real long time since you and I have been on a show together, and and it kind of feels that same way for me. And also joining us today, we have the rookie card specialist himself, Victor. What's going on, dude?
Not too much, Drew. Thanks for the show tonight. I'm excited to get into this. There's a lot going on in the hobby, that's for sure.
That's I mean, that might as well be the new slogan, right? Like,
right.
There's just a lot going on. I mean, it never stops. It's 24/7, 365. What's going on, TK Vids? Victor Bahia, what's going on, everybody? Judge did just hit another home run. Jude,
Nice.
I know you're still awake. Aaron Judge hit a home run. Yay. Yep, that's what I thought you'd say. And I knew you were still awake. Go to bed. You have school. But I'm going to put the link in the chat, guys. Of course, we would love to have you guys call in, join the show. Let us know if there's anything on your mind in the hobby, anything that you'd like to talk about. Get your opinion out there. You can call in through video or audio only, of course. What's up, card hobbyists, royals, everyone? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. But Victor, you kind of nailed it. There's a lot going on in the hobby, but it's something we talked about on this show countless times. I know, John, you and I on our shows countless times, but it seems like it might finally be happening. The long-awaited Fanatics purchase of Panini. Now, it looks like, from everything that I'm hearing from a lot of very, very strong sources and a lot of different social media influencers and everything like that, it does look like it is a done deal with Panini America, with Panini keeping their sticker company and international stuff like that, which is a vast majority of their business. But the card company being purchased by Topps.
Yeah, Fanatics, which is they acquired Topps. Yeah, like you said, I mean, it's one of the worst kept secrets. I thought it was going to come out at the National, and just for full transparency, it's not been officially announced, but where there's a lot of smoke, there's fire. I said on my show, I thought they were going to do it at the National, and I just think there was a lot of buzz of people talking about it, and I wonder if they wanted to wait. Then I thought maybe they'll wait till after the World Cup, because that's a big deal.
Right.
To the Panini brand. Maybe they didn't want to sort of overshadow that event, which is later in the year, because
I kind of thought they'd run through December and make it an early January, beginning of the year kind of kickoff thing, because Panini kind of has the releases set up through December.
And here's the crazy thing, Drew, they could still do that because they themselves and Panini have not announced it. So maybe the official announcement will come, like you just said, in December. I don't know, but I think it's sort of inevitable. I don't think it's a matter of if, it's just a matter of when.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a guest that wants to say hi. Look into the camera.
Hey, Jude.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, what's going on, bud? All right, go to sleep. All right.
As far as the announcement, I at first I was a little taken back. I don't know. I was just probably just the way my dad raised me, but it's the rumorville, and then it's one person, one content creator announces it, and it's like a whirlwind of content that just hits YouTube and everywhere else, and I've still yet to hear an official word. And that to me, these guys have a leak somewhere that they need to figure out what's going on within their companies, but
Well, there's multiple there. I'll tell you right now, there's multiple leaks, but it also has to do with the fact that a lot of these people that are working for Panini or working for Topps now have also worked for all these other companies in the past. So, they're not Topps loyalists of 20 years. You know what I mean? There are some of those, but the vast majority are pulled straight from other companies. They're bouncing around like crazy. And so the leak is, I mean, it's a well. I mean, I can tell you that just from my sources alone, I can tell you it's a well.
But here's the crazy thing, Drew, you're right. I'm agreeing with you. But when Fanatics acquired all that licensing from underneath Topps's nose, which seems like eons ago, and it really isn't, right?
That was
like the best kept secret in the world. Like Topps didn't see it coming, or at least that's what they claim. Yet here we are with this acquisition, apparently, or allegedly, if you will, and it's the worst kept secret.
I think it's also the worst kept secret because it also makes the most sense. Because if you're Panini and if you're Fanatics, it makes sense for both sides, especially if Panini gets to keep their sticker collection, because people say whatever, it's stickers. That's still the majority of their money. It's still over 50% of what they bring in all the time easily. And it's not going to change. It's only going to get stronger. I know I ripped 500 packs alone myself this week to collect a couple sets. It's absolutely massive overseas. So they are only giving up the card industry, supposedly. That could, like I said, this is all speculation. 100%. But from what I've been told, they're only giving up the card and the memorabilia and all that part. But it brings a question that I want to ask you guys, and it's something that I've been thinking about. And feel free to, anyone in the chat, let me know what you guys think. And it kind of goes with a question that we had earlier, or a comment that we had earlier from Paige and Dean and Ben. MLB logos back on Donruss baseball cards. What? I think that's how you meant that. But
good job.
That's what I was kind of wondering is, okay, all right, they got Topps. Now they got Panini. What's the product line going to look like? Like, how is this going to work? Because you can't put out all 28, 30 some Panini releases, all 30.
Why not?
Like, I guess you can, but then, it's so watered down, in my opinion. That would be
and I'm only half kidding with you, Drew.
Chronicles could have 500 products instead of 80.
Yeah, there'll be a 1,500 card set. You'll have you'll have 10 different whoever the hot football rookie is.
But you don't want to lose that intellectual property, so you got 5 years to use it. So maybe they rotate some things in every 5 years and stuff like that. I don't know, but I don't know how that's gonna work.
Well, number one, supply chain issues, right? But with that being said, they're going to want to crank out as many different brands, especially what they're paying for the licensing. Forget what they're paying for Topps and Panini, which we, don't really know officially, right? But that isn't cheap. I mean, it may be cheap to them. They're getting deals on those brands because they're sort of backs are against the wall, but we're still talking millions of dollars in any case scenario here. And then they're paying a lot more for these licensing. These are reported to be 20-year deals with baseball, basketball, and football. The players have an equity stake that chomps into your bottom line as well. So, Fanatics going to want to make ROI on their investment.
Well, and it also
go ahead.
Oh, no. What I was going to say is on Panini's side, it really saves them as well. Because if you think about it, Panini's losing that license here a lot sooner than people think. That license ends and it goes over to Topps very soon. Well, once that license transfers, they can't make redemptions. They can't fulfill anything that's out there. They can't do anything with those cards anymore whatsoever. And so now if the purchase goes through and everything, those redemptions that you have out that have been out forever and things like that, you're going to be able to get. You're actually going to be able to still have that stuff and still have that access. So, I had 3B Collection said earlier, all you've heard for years is that they're unlicensed and now they can have the logos. Why is everyone so upset in arms about it? I agree. I personally think it's a good thing for the overall hobby. I'm just very curious to see how the product line looks, because now they've got, if this happens, you've got 50 some, 60 some products to choose from, and you just can't put that out for every sport.
I think there'll be some growing pains, at least in year one, and probably some slight changes for year two. I'm with Herman, though. I do love the concept of actually having team logos on their baseball product. They do make some beautiful product. Yes. Can't deny them of that. And having the team logos on there will be a definite plus.
Mike Steve Line in the chat room, he makes a point that is something I think about. He's saying, hey, with basically Fanatics owning everything but hockey, who's driving them to make a great product, right? It's a legitimate question. Now, if they were on the screen, they tell you us ourselves are trying to deliver the best product, right? Which is obviously, company speak. That's what they have to say. But when the camera's not on, what they sort of got everybody by the what, right? If you want to open a baseball product, you're gonna be paying Fanatics. If you want a basketball product, you're gonna pay Fanatics. If you want a football product, Fanatics is getting your money. The only time they're not getting your money is when you want a hockey product now,
and that's gonna stay that way. Upper Deck keeping hockey, they have no desire.
I hope so, man. I mean, I just don't. It's funny. I think we're all guilty of this, right, guys? We all wanted Topps Chrome back, right? Football.
Yeah.
And we wanted some of those brands that went away when licenses were lost. We wanted like Upper Deck to do baseball again and football again.
Jordan in basketball.
But this was not the way, you know what I mean? We wanted it to go down. I don't want to speak for everyone. I think most people didn't want it to go down this way. I think a lot of people wanted to see 3 different companies making multiple products where you get what Mike is driving at, where there is a competition because, baseball's being made by Upper Deck, Panini, and Topps.
Right.
And so who's going to make the best product? Who's going to win, baseball product of the year? Which company's going to do it the best? We're going to get those products or a good percentage of them, minus Upper Deck, but it's going to be under one company. And like Mike is driving at in his comment, is who's pushing the envelope to be great, right?
No, and themselves. And I agree. I mean, I think if anyone from the outside benefits, it's people like Leaf, Brian Gray, and Leaf, and even upstarts like Wild Card. They've got a long ways to go, but a decent start, at least for a niche market. But Leaf, I think, becomes very strong and actually improves in value, really, as they're going to be really the unlicensed company, so to speak, if all of this was going to happen. And Brian Gray tends to take advantage when he can, so I would expect him to do some pretty good stuff if he has that opportunity. But there's a question in the comments that I want to direct, especially since we have the specialist in here. But DR asks, will they be able to standardize the rookie card logo and the rookie card logic now?
We don't have any rookie card guys in the room, though. I'm just
I know. I mean, now that we do have one company possibly making everything, maybe we can get an idea of what the hell a rookie is now.
Exactly. That's the biggest part I'm looking forward to. Is now that they own everything, it removes a lot of debate and removes a lot of heartburn that's been going on for years.
But I agree with you, Victor. But now they sort of make the rules because they can. It's like no one can really, with the exception of hockey, right? Which, let's be real.
Well, with the exception of the Players Association and whatever agreement they have between them,
which we both know they've sort of curved that rule or bent the rule or just outright circumvent it.
I think they've been doing a really good job at following the rules that the PA has established.
Yes,
they just don't do a very good job at the rules that the hobby has established. They don't listen to those, and they do follow the legal authority in the PA, but they do create some gray area at times, and that's where a lot of the, especially old school collectors, like myself, have some heartburn. But I think this is going to be a step in the right direction for the rookie card, in my opinion.
No, I agree. I mean, I think obviously when you have one company doing it, you would hope they'd be able to standardize it, and you would hope it would be that they would want that designation, because they should want to know how important a rookie is. They know how important a rookie is, and I know they want 10th year cards to be as valuable as rookies, but they're never going to be. So, and I think they know that too. So, it would be nice to get that standardized answer back like we had for a while. And I think we will. I think we will.
I think for me, the biggest area of concern is in the elephant in the room. And I think that's where a lot of hesitancy is within the hobby, at least for me anyways. And that's just, they are definitely becoming the monopoly. And I'm no economist, right? And I don't think any of us are, but there's just some telltale signs that are just so obvious and blatant. And logic says, when we look at what Fanatics has done with the jerseys, and when we look at what they've done with hats, and they pretty much came in, bought everybody out, have taken over that part of the industry.
Oh, that's their model. They sink their teeth in and strangle.
And now you pay Fanatic prices. It's whatever they say and dictate. And because there's no competition, there's no choices. And when there's no choices, that's what happens. Prices go up.
Yeah.
And we talked about rookie cards, right? That's what drives product. I think all three of us, and probably most people in the chat room agree, right? That's what drives most products. Mm-hmm. And so how do you get more rookie cards in the market? Two ways, right? Make a lot more, boxes and cases. And on top of that, make more product, make more brands and product. So the biggest detriment to this deal is going to be the supply chain issues, the printing company issues that's happening right now, unless they have a plan we don't know about.
John, they're buying everything, man.
I know.
buy a printing factory.
They're going to buy a forest.
Well, my understanding is that Fanatics does plan to be printing these cards through different companies. From what I've been told, eventually Cartamundi and GCI are going to be pushed out for whatever Fanatics creates. That's now, if that happens and how long that is, who knows. But I've been told that that's one of their major goals, is they want to be the ones creating the cards as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's smart. I'm not saying I love all this and what's going on, but if I'm Fanatics, I want to make those cards in-house. I want to 100% be made on my property, right? In whether that's the front of the store, the back of the store, I want it to be in-house on property. I mean, obviously they're got deep pockets, right? Get that done. That would have been one of the. So, and again, we don't know everything that's going on. Maybe that's already done deal, or like you said, in the works. But if that happens, you're going to see a lot of brands and new ones too. We're talking about, hey, what brands are going to be brought back or we're going to get again? You're going to get that, and then you're going to get some new ones you never heard of, brand new ones.
So we've got a question here, which is pretty interesting as we talk about all the hobby boxes that are probably going to be out there and all the products. But DR says, what percentage of folks in the hobby have actually bought a hobby box? especially, and that's a good question. I actually like that. And I think probably with all the new people in the hobby, I would say a lot more than 3 or 4 years ago before all these people entered. Because when these people entered, I saw a lot of people buying hobby boxes. But, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it's a high percentage. I think it's definitely, I think it's probably between 60 and 80%. I mean, there's some people who don't do modern cards, right, at all. And so they're not, you almost have to not almost count them because they're not in the demographic. But I think if it's just, hey, have you ever opened a hobby box? If that was like a poll question, I think that number's higher than 60%.
Yeah, I think it's lower. I don't think there's.
You do?
I do.
Really?
I do. I think the majority of people are more towards the retail box side of things, and I don't know. That's just my gut feeling. I do know somebody put on there that they hope Fleer Ultra comes back, but I think Fleer is owned by Upper Deck, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
it is. Fleer Ultra would
wait. This just in. Breaking news. Fanatics has just acquired Upper Deck.
Yeah.
Fleer Ultra.
Good news for Upper Deck fans.
Let's do it.
Can't be sold for 4 more years. They literally legally can't be sold for 4 more years. So you at least got 4 years with Upper Deck. Someone said they wanted a 10-second break for to see some cards. Since football's out, there's some East Carolina action for you, 101 logo. And then, of course, the beautiful Kobe second-year refractor, Bowman's best. So there's some 10 seconds of cards for you.
Well, I bought this at the show.
Let's see it.
Probably a little dark. It's a Pujols buyback auto. He's kind of the talk of the town.
Nice. Can't go wrong with that.
I pulled this Juan Soto this week out of Topps Chrome Platinum.
Oh, I love that. I love that set.
Yeah,
numbered serial number to 99. So that's a nice.
Beautiful. That is nice. I actually like that. Hey, every show, bring that comment in and remind me to take a 10-second break for cards. I like that. So
card break.
Absolutely. So with this, with everything that's going on now, as that 70s Car Show says, choke off the breakers and get the hobby back where it needs to be. What do you guys see if this stuff with Panini comes through, since we're playing hypothetical first half of the show? If all this happens, how do you see distribution changing with all this? Do you see it more direct to consumer, more online based? Do you see a lot of hobby shops, and do you think it's going to be a full Fanatics hired breaker route? I see a lot of breakers right now making some amazing Fanatics posts, thanking Fanatics for all they do. Nice little advertisement. I mean, dude, look at some of the breaker stories and it's hilarious. It's thank you so much for boxing this box with extra shipping. You take such good care of stuff. Totally.
I don't know you, but I love you.
It's funny shit, but it's happening.
It is.
I think you said it, Drew, and I think they've really kind of called their shot with some of the early decisions, right? With the distributors. I think they're going to cut out the middleman. Yeah. Right. And I think it's Victor that said this. So I want to give him proper credit. You might say, oh, they're going to cut out the middleman so we can get better prices. No, they're cutting out the middleman so they can get better prices.
Yeah.
They watch these distributors buy a box from them for $100 and sell it for $500. And they're like, hey, why don't we just sell it for $500 or $400? The hobby will love us because it's $100 cheaper. And we're getting $300 more than just selling it to a distributor for $100. And you don't have to be an economist to figure that one out. You just that's a high school diploma.
They are a distributor, and I think it's going to be more online exclusive, online straight to their website, straight to consumer. and they're going to cut out. They're not going to need that many distributors anymore because of that.
No, and I actually think that the biggest sign that the Panini purchase and everything is happening, is in the works. The paperwork's probably finalizing and dotting I's and T's and all that BS, is when they started hiring exclusive breakers, when they started announcing exclusive breakers, because I don't think they would do that if they didn't have faith that they were going to be able to offer every product that people were going to want. It's just how Fanatics is. And so that's another telltale sign to me that this is, this has a lot more validity to it. And that was a big move towards it. But we shall see. The breaking industry is definitely going to be interesting.
Well, they're going to be okay, Drew. Kind of piggybacking off what we also.
No, I think
they're going to eliminate the distributors, but they have a breaking division. Fanatics has announced they want to have a breaking division. That they said they know how important breakers are to the hobby. So they're gonna. That's why all those posts you say like, "Hey, Fanatics, we love you." Well, they're trying to get their foot in that door. How do you do it? You kiss ass, right? That's happened since the medieval times. So that's I laugh when I see it, like you said, but that's par for the course.
Yep.
I think they're trying to just get rid of those third-party breakers, the breakers that are not even affiliated with them, that are just they're feeding off other people. I think that's what they're trying to get rid of.
Yeah.
And listen, I don't want to speak for you guys. Like I'm a human being. I care about other human beings. People are probably going to lose their jobs in some of these decision making, especially on the distribution side, right? I feel bad for that. I really do. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but at the same time, right? Who did the distributors have to blame?
Yeah,
themselves, right? How many
100%.
times they buy cases, right? They sell one of the cases they get from Topps, Donruss, Upper Deck. They hold some back. They say they're sold out. They wait till the market price goes up, and they say, "Hey, we just bought some more, but we had to pay more, so now it's going to cost you more." That was a case they had bought at the introductory price.
100%.
It's a shell game. Don't be fooled. So. And don't think Fanatics doesn't notice. If we notice, they knew this. They have a lot smarter people and data analysts, and so they see that and they're like, you know what? That's where this ends, and that's where this decision's coming from. So while I feel bad for the human element, people may be out of work due to lack of sales. The distributors themselves. We're getting fat off the cow, and hopefully they stockpiled a lot of that money, because I think the salad days for them, I think the end's kind of in sight.
Yeah, well said, John.
Very well said. All right. So, guys, once again, please, if there's anything that you would like to call in and discuss, or if any thoughts that you have on the issue, please feel free to call in and join the show. Dropping the link in the chat right now once again for you guys. Just feel free to click. You can call in audio or video. We'd love to have you. I love it when you guys call in. It's always a lot of fun. So feel free to call in. We would absolutely love to have you. But oh no, guys, there was some other news that was going on in the hobby lately. That's pretty interesting. And John, I know you had said you wanted to talk about this, so I'll kind of kick it off and then send it.
Yeah, you want me to? I can mention it.
Yeah, start us off, brother.
Yeah, I think most people have heard, right? Derek Jeter, got a huge following, right? He doesn't work for the Marlins anymore, and probably doesn't have to work. Period. He's got that exclusive contract with Topps or Fanatics in a sense, right? Or everyone's got a deal with Fanatics at this point. He's part of an investment group. It's called Arena Club, And it's another great, they're not just grading, they're going to be a grading outfit. They're going to have a vault and sort of the template that we're seeing on a lot of these things. And like I joked on my show, right? We don't have enough grading companies. We need 1,000,001. 1,000,000 is not enough. And so we got it, right? Arena Club. But my question is, to me, grading is probably one of the toughest spaces to come in as a completely new company and make your mark. I think it's ambitious. You've seen PSA have missteps. You've seen SGC do different things that can be missteps. Yet there, Beckett still, if we want to go top 4 in whatever order you want to put them, PSA, SGC, BGS, CSG, right? But most of them have made mistakes and have gotten the ire of collectors and hobbyists, and yet they still remain in that top 4. To me, I know they're banking on the face of Jeter. He was on Good Morning America talking cards. He's been doing like the Whirlwind Tour. They got money backing them. I mean, they got that going for them. But I think they're really
co-founder was also the co-founder of the co-founder of Arena Club with Jeter was the guy who created LegalZoom.com. So I mean they've got some very smart business-minded people in the backing this company. For sure.
I just think it's tough. They might have great people and a lot of money. I just think it's tough to crack this space at this point. It's ambitious. And I think they're really, I don't know what you guys think. That's why I brought this topic up. I think they're really banking on Jeter's face and name to like put them on the map. But I guess the question to you guys on screen and everyone else off it in the chat room, which you're welcome to come on it, is Jeter going to be enough to make this a viable grading company? Now they're doing other things with the vault, but just specifically talking about the grading here. If they're banking on Jeter, is that going to get it done?
No. I don't think so, John. And I haven't heard too much chatter about this, but it is big news. And I read an article on Sports Collectors Daily, but is it strictly grading? Is that all that they're offering? But the grading and the vault, right?
No.
And a selling platform.
And to put cards in the vault, they have to be an arena graded card. In other words,
and you
can't send your PSA cards into their vault.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they've got their vaulted service from grading, and then for a higher fee, you can get it graded and sent back to you. But otherwise, it's a vaulted and selling platform all rolled into one.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't think, it's a good effort. It's a good name to have backing him up. And I think he had some financial investment in there as well. But I think, even with Kevin Durant, he invested some money into the market as well. And that company hasn't really, I don't know. I don't know, but you don't hear much about Kevin Durant and his, financial adventures with the hobby. So I don't think it's going to work.
No, well, my biggest thing, and DR just said it, is, and I mean, you alluded to it right there, Victor, is, and to answer your question, John, absolutely not. They cannot survive on Jeter's name alone, because as big and as many people that care about Jeter, there's just as many that don't give a crap about him. And that's and especially what he's doing in the hobby and where he's investing his money. Yeah. And so whether they like him on cards or not. And so that's where just banking on the name alone, no. And I don't see Jeter being involved in this. I don't see, outside of commercials, his name being on it, maybe exclusive. Well, he can't do exclusive Jeter stuff because he's got Topps. So, I mean, there's nothing that he can offer from an interactive standpoint. It's really literally just his name and a company that he's got money in. So, like DR said,
here's the other thing. Not the Shaw cards. I'm reading the comment, and I think he's got a point here. Jeter may not even have his money in it. He's probably just getting a check to promote the company and the brand. So he's got nothing to lose.
And there was a comment earlier from DR, or I think it was DR. Hold on, let me check real quick. Yeah, that said, is there any two grading companies in the top 4 to 6 that could merge and win in the future? Now, this is a company with Jeter in them. If Jeter's name can position them to pull in and work and maybe merge a couple vaults, so we don't have a vault on every single freaking corner. I mean, we're talking about rookie cards. Brad, as he was saying, you get a rookie card, you get a rookie card. Well, now it's you get a vault, you get a vault, you get a vault. I mean, I can't keep track of where half the cards are these days.
And most of these vaults, hey Drew and Victor, most of these vaults are in Delaware because of the tax rules. Yeah, well, if you know, with all due respect to anyone that lives in Delaware, or like Delaware is about this big,
right?
And all these vaults are going there. They're going to run out of Delaware.
Yep, and so there you go. Well, the vault
they can just name the state Vault.
Yeah, just Vault. There you go.
State of Vault.
I know. So I mean,
so if you send any mail to Delaware, you'll say you'll send it to the city, Vault.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And the zip code. I'm sure they'll still need the zip codes, but
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't see this. I think if this company had come out, like, I mean, like keep going back to it, but 3-4 years ago, sure, maybe it could have had some success in this industry if it came out when, you know, HGA and all these other wannabe grading companies started to come out. If they'd maybe come out then and worked on it some, possibly, maybe they could have had some stuff in it. But like someone said in the comments, what do these guys know about cards outside of being on them, as Chris said? And also, like, what I just don't see them being able to garner a market share. You're going to have people that are going to grade with them, sure, but it's too much. It's too many. I see this as more of the company comes out and then merges with somebody, or the company's bought by somebody. I don't see this as a long-term thing whatsoever unless they merge with some type of company.
And maybe they did. Maybe they just had a hard time getting it up and going, but I think they're a day late and $1 short.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Shout out to the breaks. I like my cards in my own vault. I second that. I love the comment from Paige and Deanie vault.
There's the address, you guys.
It is.
Yeah. Please don't.
I want to live in that. I want to live in that city.
Disclaimer: do not send your cards there.
Yeah, right.
but
if you do, make sure on the packaging you don't put anything that like alludes that there's sports cards in the packaging.
I think I heard somewhere that Arena is not telling people where their vault is. I think that is staying on the down low. Yeah.
And it's on like Big Brother 24/7 camera, so you can stare at a box not moving for hours upon end if you'd like. I mean, I think that's pretty amazing. But as Reppin' Ronjo asks, has anyone tried Tag, yet another new grading company into the sphere? I will say, I can't wait to see one of the slabs. I want to see one of the crystal clear slabs, but I'm not spending the money on it. But when it pops up at a show, I'll be excited to look at the slab. But that's about it on that side.
I've been
I'm old school, man. I'm just speaking. I'm PSA, SGC. I used to be Beckett. Full disclosure, back in the day. But that's kind of where I'm at now, is PSA and SGC. And I don't rule anyone out necessarily, unless your grading company starts with an H. Then I will. We'll see. I just think it's such, like we already talked about, guys. I think it's such a tough part of the hobby / industry to come in as an upstart, throw your hat in that arena. No pun intended there, and compete. But they might say, well, John, we're not trying to be PSA off the bat. We know that we can't. That's impossible. But everyone, got to start somewhere. So I guess I don't know what their projections or goals are, but it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. It's gonna be interesting to see. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how it works out. They definitely got some smart minds, like I said, but I'm just tired of every company coming out with a vault. It drives me crazy. And yes, they are 100% for flippers. Logan, we know all your eggs are in the PSA basket.
I wonder
your PSA is honoree.
There's somebody the breaks. They asked, why would anybody want their cards in a vault somewhere? And that's a good question. And I've asked myself that same question. And my guess would be if I'm renting a box at a bank, is there a charge that I'm paying the bank? More than likely. Right. And if I can get rid of that charge and send my cards to a vault, I don't know. Is there a charge at these vaults? I don't know.
Well, there typically isn't, unless you. I mean, every company's different, Victor. But like, if you sell it on their auction site, like in PWCC's case, you can use the vault with no additional charge.
No additional charge,
right?
And I get the vault. If I don't have $1 million card, but if I had $1 million card, probably not a great idea to keep it in this house, right? You're just sort of asking. Right. For trouble. I like the safety deposit box because even though maybe it's not here, you can go visit. You can have your card in your hand. If you send it to a vault, it's not in your possession. And I don't care about digital pictures. And we can open that whole NFT. Now you have an NFT of your card. Your actual cards in the vault and any pictures you have are NFTs. There's something about I think we all can agree, whether you like vaults or you don't like vaults, there's something about holding your own card in your hand whenever you sort of want to.
Yeah. So I get the whole. John, are you sending that Jackie to a vault?
Well, the Jackie's right here. It's right here.
The Jackie never leaves. No one knows this, but the Jackie never leaves John's vicinity. It's like he's basically got like
I just dropped it, but
always near.
And in the corner is the shotgun.
Exactly. Exactly. Always near.
But I mean, it's not $1 million card. I mean, it may be invaluable, like something you can't put a price. It's not $1 million. If that was $1 million, if that was like a PSA 9 Jackie, which would be $1 million card, I probably wouldn't have it in a vault, but I would have it in a safety deposit box.
I'm trying to find the logic on why somebody would use one. And I can see if I have all my expensive stuff at a bank and I'm having to go to the bank periodically and ship cards out, and I'm getting charged a yearly fee, whatever that is. If I can send all of that to a vault that I do with an auction house that I do business with, and I can save that step, and that might be a logical play for somebody. I don't know. My stuff doesn't go that high.
Yeah, I get honestly, it, and I don't. It's not for everybody,
right?
These are more, I think, cards, and the people that are using the vault intensely are the people. And I mean, I know a couple of people that use them, and I mean, I know they use it this way. They're buying these cards at shows, and they're sending them right to the vault, and they're getting them up on auction within a month or two. They're buying them as more short-term, good deal plays, whether it be in a trade on the floor, wherever, or they're using them as, half a year plays where they're sending them to that vault simply to be able to list them on that auction house when they're ready immediately. And they honestly have so much money and so much nice stuff and nice cards at their house that they don't really care about seeing it. It's not something that they're buying to look at. They're buying it for a money play, and normally a quick one.
It's a good luxury item for those who are investors and flippers. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think you hit on the head, Drew. And again, I don't want to paint every collector or hobbyist with this, but if your cards are in a vault, I think you're seeing dollar signs more than, hey, I love the cards and the hobby and holding them in my hands. I like foul fly ball foul 5 balls comment. It's so your wife don't see them.
Comment of the day right there. I love it. Just stick with your local bank. You can still see your cards. But yeah,
my answer to foul 5 ball is though, if you're sending your cards to a vault so your wife don't see them, I don't think you're worried too much about. I think your wife's probably staying with you for more than just love. Maybe there's a little added incentive going that way.
Another point right here that I did not think about that Mitch W says, "What's up, Samantha? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in." But Mitch W, it's great for international buyers. Again, especially for international buyers that are in this more as a
good point
investment, flipping type of aspect. If you're in this hobby for, I kind of liken it to day trading and stuff like that. If you're into it like that type of style, then absolutely for international buyers, being able to buy those big cards securely, not have to worry about them being shipped across the world multiple times just to get a sale completed. That saves not only a lot of money, a lot of insurance, but it makes it easy. So that's something I didn't think about. But yeah, international buyers, which is a massive and always growing by the day percentage in this hobby, I can see the vault for that reasoning.
I do too, and I love that. This is why we do these types of shows. We talk and then we get better understanding, because now that makes a lot of sense.
There's another great comment right here, right? What's the over under? I love when we can get a little gambling aspect on this show.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
Under? I thought we were going to talk about football when I first read the beginning of this. What's the over under for someone working on the inside of one of these vaults and something turns up mysteriously missing? Great. You got, how can you not think about that? I mean, every time I look at my phone or turn on my computer, right, I see 3 stores got broken into. So, what are you gonna do? So it's crazy, man. But I get, they do serve a purpose. It just won't. They're not gonna help me out. But again, the other nice thing with the vault, right? Obviously, there's going to be expensive cards there. You're probably a seller and buyer of expensive cards. When you sell one of those expensive cards, that company that handles the vault does all the shipping for you, right? Talk about a little bit of peace of mind as far as they're responsible for the shipping and getting that card you just sold for $500,000 to the new owner, right?
That's a big deal.
Them.
That's a big deal.
It's off your plate. So that's a huge thing you don't have to necessarily worry about.
Yeah. Guys, before we go any further, Samantha Harris, never tuned in. Thanks for tuning in. Yes, we are live every single Tuesday at 9 p.m. and then also every single Saturday at 11 a.m. This is Hobby Hotline Overtime. And then Hobby Hotline, the regular show, is Saturday mornings. We have over 20 hosts on the show. So it'll be a revolving door. You never know who you're going to get. And it's a lot of fun.
And just a future programming note for Samantha. The weeks that I'm not on here, the show gets better looking. So just don't watch today's and think that's how it is all the time.
Oh, John, is there ever an episode where you don't have to put yourself down, brother?
No, you gotta have fun. If you can, listen. If I can laugh at other people, I can laugh at myself too.
Hey, so can I. I'm not exactly up in the percentage myself, but back to everything. I don't even remember where I was now since we stopped for just a moment. But guys, also make sure to call in and join the show. Posted the link up earlier. Remember, this is your show, so it is covered by you guys. If there's any questions that you have for the hobby or anything that you'd like everyone to know and you'd like to come get on the show, talk about it, discuss it with us, please click that link, hop on in. You can do audio or video anytime you'd like. We would love to have you call in.
Hey, Drew, I don't know if it was a topic you were going to touch on, but I find very interesting the move that Beckett Publications is making.
Oh,
For those who don't know, they have purchased Knox is the name of the company, which is a software company. And pretty interesting.
Don't worry, if you've never heard of it, no one else has either.
Yeah. But a pretty interesting move here, and I'm interested to see what they're going to do implementing this new technology and what that's going to look like.
Well, yeah, this is interesting. I was lucky enough to have Beckett's first interview and God knows how long and Kunal's first interview. Kunal and Jeremy were on the show a couple of weeks ago, and they were talking a lot about technology and a lot about stuff like this that they had planned on doing, but I had no idea how they were going to do it. I kind of assumed it was something they were going to build, kind of slow roll out, but they kind of alluded to that's where they were headed towards, and that was all something that they'd planned on doing. I didn't expect it this fast, but I think now from speaking, I got to speak to Kunal for about an hour off the air and then about an hour on the air. From speaking to him for a couple of hours, he seems to be the type of person that is, when he starts something, he's going to go full throttle 100%. And then when he's not pushing something hard, he's going to be completely silent. He's those two big extremes. And so I think right now you're going to be seeing a lot of moves by Beckett, and then I think it will probably get silent again. But this is showing me something that I took from the interview that I had on our show, was that through all the conversation that we had, there was so much less talk on grading and more talk on moving into other ventures, that this move just kind of reinforces that thought in my mind that Beckett they're focusing on grading and authentication and everything, but the authentication and the online aspect services and stuff is really where I think that company's headed in the future. And I think this acquisition proves that 100%.
Right on, man.
Well,
I would love
they're
to
partnering with anything. They seem to be partnering with anything that moves.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to be honest with you. I have friends that work at Beckett, and so I'm rooting for them. I'm not rooting against them. I'm not confident long term. I mean, they got some ground to make up, and I almost feel like they're punting on their grading department a little bit here when they're looking at all this online stuff. I know it's 2022 and we're heading into 2023, and that's the way the hobby's going, and we got to keep up with the Joneses. I get that, but at one time Beckett was arguably the number one grading service in the hobby, and now they're sort of an afterthought. I just feel like they're sort of almost admitting it, almost like waving the white flag, and like, so we're gonna put all our eggs in this direction, in this basket. And it's sort of sad. Maybe that's the old man in the porch on me that remembers Beckett in the heyday, and
I mean,
just sees how far down the pegs they've fallen. Well, maybe it's smart. Maybe that old man maybe they're right, and like, hey, let's we're probably not going to ever kind of get back to where we were, and we would be putting money into a losing effort. Let's look at a different direction to still make our company viable.
Well, let's be honest. They're one of the only companies left really outside of SGC, and even SGC I see taking over some of these cards. But Beckett's only grading that they really had left was thicker cards that you wanted subgrades on, super high-end cards like National Treasures, Flawless, stuff like that was mostly slabbed in Beckett. Than anything that Panini, put out with encased and stuff like that. But outside of that, and, first Bowmans a lot of times because you wanted those subgrades, which were important to certain collectors. But I'm seeing a lot of those move towards SGC as opposed to BGS now as well. But I mean, I really think it is their authentication department is going to be the bread and butter of what they do in terms, I think, in the future of what they do, because grading, like you said, it's just not what their focus is on. And I know internally, because I know a lot of people there, and like I said, the leaks in this hobby are It is a flood. The dam is broken. And there's a lot of people talking. And I can tell you right now that grading is not what Beckett's focuses on. And it's frustrating a lot of people there, that especially the people that have been there for a long time and that moved. There was a lot of internal movement in that company in the last year, from authentication to grading and stuff like that. A lot of people coming into the grading to try and hopefully make it better and do as much as they could. And that was a complete and total failure because they just disappeared forever. And so I don't know.
I think their focus needs to be in getting live, up-to-date price adjustments within the hobby. That's to me is going to get them back to their former glory. And the reason it hurt them so badly was because, the print magazine, by the time it came out, that was old news, man. The hobby changes by the hour, and there's some way that they can tap into the sales of cards and have live updates is the way to go.
Yeah, well, DR kind of says it right here. They should find a way to own the digital pricing marketplace versus Card Ladder and Market Movers somehow. Mm-hmm. Well, I will tell you, they've got the tech guys in place to do it if they want to.
There you go.
That's something that they could go back into doing if they want to focus on that as opposed to grading. That is something they do have the knowledge and the people in place for to absolutely be able to do if they wanted to.
But it's like the tortoise and the hare. Are they too, I'm not saying they're not capable, like you just said, Drew, but have they been out of the race so long they don't have enough time to catch up? Card Ladder and Market Movers are talked about constantly. They'd have it again, we talk about a new grading company trying to compete against the big boys. I know Beckett's not new, but if they really launched a tool like that, they'll be new in that space, and again, going up against two formidable ones. And there's other companies now that are trying to get it. It's not like Beckett's the third. There are other companies already trying to get their foot in the door too.
Shaw Cards dropping comment of the night, by the way. Anytime you reference Flight of the Conchords on here, you're going to win comment of the night from me. So that pristine 11 hope that I want to hear a song. See, now you got me thinking about a Play of the Conchord song called Pristine 11. Damn you. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go and what they do. But like you said, John, the late to the party part, I think in the digital aspect of stuff, I mean, Card Ladder has the backing of collectors. Now the company, not actual collectors, but
that's just graded cards though.
Yes, but
who do we have for raw cards besides
eBay? And that's where
what you have now, Victor, another space we're just seeing everyone get involved in is the scanning your card and getting all the recents, and that actually is mostly raw. Those apps
and buggy. It's that technology has got a ways to go.
I know.
No, I agree. I think that one's going to be difficult too, but I think there's more of a door open there if you can come in there and, like you just said, Victor, eliminate some of them bugs and really clean it up and be at the forefront of that.
Yep.
I think that's that for sure. But grading and price.
They got the database. My goodness, do they have a database?
I just hope the bugs aren't where the cards are. But
but bump.
Well, they're safe if they're in the vault.
Hey, that's true. That's true. These vaults are apparently.
I mean, if the vaults have got they're fireproof. It'd be funny if the vaults were so protected, except against insects or moths.
Exactly.
I
do
stolen,
remember
but,
actually.
A gypsy moth ate a corner off of it.
Funny story before we wrap it up. I do remember his posters right here on the wall. Stu Stone and I, the guy from Jack of All Trades, John, you know him really, really well. You did the main stage show with me at the National with him. We were walking the floor one day and he was talking about how he wanted to do and Ocean's 11 type movie about the hobby and stealing some expensive cards at the National. But now that we got all these vaults, I might be hitting him up with a little screenplay idea. Maybe we'll get that out there. Netflix buys everything, so maybe we can get a hobby movie out of this.
He can call it Jack of All Thieves.
There you go. Thank you. There you go. John Newman with credit right there.
I get like a co-producer credit at the end of the movie.
Executive producer. Yeah, executive producer credit right there. Boom, done. But guys, we are here at 10, so we are going to be wrapping up the show now. Don't forget, guys, this Saturday we have an awesome lineup. We've got Herman, Jeff, and Brad all joining the show, plus a guest host. So there will be
one. I have to correct myself. The disclaimer about the show getting better looking. try next Tuesday.
Yeah, next Tuesday. Next Tuesday. That's for sure.
All right, so you got to put it off for like one more episode, but we promise. Without me, it gets better looking. Except Saturday, all bets are off.
All right, well, guys, if you are out in Kansas City and going to the Kansas City Collecticon, hit me up. I'll be at the PSA booth. Would love to say hey to you guys. I'll be there this weekend. But thanks everyone for tuning into the show. Once again, we are live every single Tuesday and Saturday. Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. And Victor, John, it's always a pleasure, guys. Fun show.
I gotta do my Chris Harris. Keep on rocking in the free world.
There you go. For you, Chris. Y'all have a good one.
Good night.